Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on this November the 18th. We talk outdoors every Saturday morning, rolling into our 24th year on the air right here on AM 790 in Memphis, flagship station. Again, good morning to all you folks in Brownsville and Jackson, throughout the Mid-South. And we're going to talk right now, as Frank Barton sits in as a co-host on this third Saturday, about one of my favorite subjects. I've always been a weather buff. I haven't taken it to the extreme that this next gentleman has. He's taken it where I would have liked to take it, but he has served a lot of folks in the Mid-South, based out of Union City, not only in his occupation, which I did not realize how old the White Ranson Funeral Home in Union City is. 117 years old, folks.
Yes, sir. That is correct.
That is amazing. Correct. And Brent Callicott, it's good to have you on Outdoors with Larry Ray. We're not going to talk about funerals. We're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, and that's the weather. And Brent, you have taken it to the limit. I know you love to fish. You got all these different kind of things. Hey, man, this guy's caught a bass that weighed 11 pounds, 13 ounces. That's 2 5.5-pound bass together. So that kind of you've been blessed.
Yeah, I've been blessed, and I grew up in the outdoors, and that's where my passion for the weather came from as a small child. My dad exposed me to the outdoors at the age of 4 or 5 years old.
Your dad's a pretty well known. Lonnie is a pretty well known man throughout West Tennessee, but I wanted to talk about this because you've taken it a little step further. And folks, you need to get to his you need to get to his Facebook button, and Brent's going to tell us a lot about this. But this love affair with weather, talk about this and how you got started, where you are now.
Well, I got started when I was at that age of 4, 5, 6 years old.
Come on.
The first time I heard thunder and saw lightning, I don't know, it fascinated me. And as time went on through school, I was a little more in tune to what was going on. I got my first police scanner that was 4-channel crystal scanner.
Oh, yeah.
And a radio back when I was in probably the 5th or 6th grade. And I would press this button and listen to the weather all the time, especially the wintertime. Really fascinated me more than summer because of the snow. All you kids want to get out of school for snow.
That's right.
And one thing led to another. Got ready to graduate from high school, and I thought, I would love to go into weather, but I just don't know if I've got the background as far as the knowledge of getting into university. At that time, University of Tennessee at Martin, which is just a rock throw from where I live, one county east of me, they did not offer the meteorology program. You had to travel, and I didn't want to do that.
No.
So I ventured out into different kinds of things in life, stayed with weather. Things got a little bit more interesting to me. And then started kind of, getting a little bit more involved in what was going on with the weather. Started attending the National Weather Service weather spotter programs they were having, and I'm like, this is pretty neat. And I wanted to kind of get to know what tornadoes, how did they form, hurricanes, what got on. I wanted to get a little more in tune to what was going on. A local affiliate, WPSD in Paducah, Channel 6, an NBC affiliate,
right.
Cal Sisto, which is no longer there. He's in California now, retired, put a segment out on the TV asking for weather watchers, and I wrote in. I was one of 400 people that wrote in for that, and was one of 4 people selected in Northwest Tennessee, and I did that for over 20 years.
Yeah.
Until he departed. Now I help out Grant Dade, which is at KFVS 12 and Channel 12 in Cape Girardeau. And from there, I've been in tune with the National Weather Service, been a volunteer spotter for them for 30-plus years at least.
Wow.
And one thing led to another. So social media came around, and when that happened in 2015, I decided to have me a little weather page, and I put the weather page out, and not until really in the last couple of years did I really blossom it more and more and more. So I've got a Facebook weather page. It's called Brent's Weather Page, And I try to keep the area, especially where I live in Northwest Tennessee, in tune to what's going on with the weather. And I've gotten to the point that I've got about 6,300 followers, and that doesn't sound a whole lot.
Sounds like a lot to me.
It's growing. It's growing daily and weekly. A lot of the local law
Frank's
6301.
60 is Frank's looking at the page right now here, Brent.
Okay,
I didn't want to interrupt you, but Frank's got it up. We see a lot of green. We're happy. We're happy to see this green.
Oh yeah. So. My daughter actually developed that little logo that you see on. Well, you may not be able to see it, but there's a logo she developed. I've had a shirt made, and I actually. I have law enforcement that actually pay attention to what I have to say up in this area. I help out our local EMA director, Danny Jowers, who's been a longtime EMA director here.
Yeah.
When the weather gets interesting and things going on, then we start relating to one another. And I've got my backyard's full of little weather instruments and what have you. So that's where my passion started, and I've just kind of built it, from there.
Well, you have a service that you're putting on besides a real life, but I know it takes time to do this, but we're looking at this. We desperately need rain. You know that, Brent. You keep up with it with things like that.
We do.
So as I look at the waterfowl hunters and those of us deer hunting, it looks like we might give us a little preview of what we might have next week, because it looks like a lot of green there on your Facebook page.
Yeah, things are going to change starting tomorrow. Well, actually, Friday, yesterday we were supposed to have some rain.
Yeah.
And that rain there that we got is going to start the cycle change.
Okay.
Starting late Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, a better chance of rain.
Yeah.
And we're seeing this shift going from the warm fall to the cool fall that we've been expecting for over a month. We've been well above average on temperature. Now, in my county, in Obion County, we are already at 60 inches of rain for the entire year so far. That's roughly about 10 inches above normal. So, but what helped us was this historic flood that we had in early August.
Oh yeah.
And we had 24 or so inches of rain from about middle of July to about the 25th of August. So that has really helped us. Now, when you go back and look in our part of the country up here, now there is a big difference. People don't realize this. From far northwest Tennessee to far southwest Tennessee, there is a difference in daylight and dark when it comes to weather at certain times. Sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
And we see that more so in the winter versus in the summer. When it's 98 degrees in Memphis, it's usually going to be 97 or 96 in Union City.
Yeah.
But in the wintertime, you guys can have anywhere from 45 to 50 degree weather. We may not get out of the upper 30s.
That's right.
So it's really crazy. But the weather outlook is things to get a little bit more moist.
Okay.
And I saw a prediction by the National Weather Service over a month ago. They were predicting that the Mississippi River was not going to rise a whole lot all the way through February. Now, what we get here is not going to benefit the river we get north of here.
Yeah.
And the models are showing more so of a wet pattern north of here that's going to blend in with us as well. So hopefully. we're going to see some water fall from the sky that's going to it's going to happen to raise our area lakes and ponds and rivers.
And Frank, the Mississippi Flyway, of course, that's ours. And when you hear Brent say this, you were talking earlier that you had one blind that had water. I mean, is that what you said?
I have one place that has water.
And you have 10.
10 places total. Only one of them has water.
Only one. So when you hear that, you need some of this, don't you, Frank?
Been praying for it.
And Frank's a farm family. He grew up in the farm family, so this agribusiness.
It's very for us. It's very similar to last year.
Yeah,
very similar to last year.
And I was talking to some local farmers up here that I'm very good friends with, and we've really been blessed with a great harvest fall to where we've not been interrupted by very much rain. These farmers have been able to get their beans and their corn out and stuff. And now let the faucet go now. Let it rain. Get these duck hunters some water because, look, I hunted for years and years until I got into the funeral industry. And the amount of days I'm off versus the amount of days that I can hunt and whatever, there's too many variables that go against me to be able to hunt. Dry weather, everything's froze up, no waterfowl, what have you. Now, Mr. Frank, I'll give you a tip. Back when my great-grandfather, my late grandfather, Mr. Harwell Denton, worked for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service at Walnut Log, or at that time was in Sandburg.
Yes.
He told me two things that waterfowl will follow. Waterfowl is going to follow the freeze line, and the freeze line is when the waters freeze. So 50 to 100 miles either side of the freeze line was going to be your largest concentration of ducks at peak time. They kept records and all that. Well, you got to have water to freeze, of course. Okay.
Yeah.
I've got friends right now that's got big farms that they rent. A year they bought whatever, trying to get water pumped in. The water table has been so low, especially up here with the amount of rain. I know it is in the Shelby County area, all up and down the Mississippi Flyway.
Yeah.
So if we can get some of this rain like we're going to get Monday and Tuesday, and then maybe get another one the following weekend, then you need a 3 or 4 inch rain that's going to come in, and it's really going to get those water levels up good. So hopefully your day is going to come and it'll rain for 2 or 3 days. Hopefully Monday and Tuesday is going to be those days.
Again, we're talking to our good friend Brent Callicott out of Union City. Got a 1 minute. That's all we got with Brent. 1 more minute? Golly.
One more minute.
Tell our listeners how they can keep up with you, Brent, because it's very interesting.
Go to Facebook. Go to your Facebook page and type in Brent's Weather Page. It's that simple, and you'll see it, and all you got to do is click like. And I do my best to try, not only in Northwest Tennessee, but I want to keep my friends all over the Mid-South, because the 3 E's, as I call it, weather affects everything. It affects everyone, every day, and everywhere.
Well, that's why we wanted to talk to Brent. Brent, thank you, buddy. We'll talk again maybe after a little while. Every once I check back with you, okay? All
yes,
right?
sir. That'd be fantastic. And thank you so much for the invite today. And Mr. Frank, it was good to talk to you.
Okay.
All right, Brent. Thank you.
Tell your dad hello, too, okay?
Sure will.
All right,
Have
buddy.
a blessed day.
Have a great weekend. All right, let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray. We'll be right back.